I worked 12 hours straight, came home exhausted, and opened my garage to see my dream car sitting exactly where I left it. 30 seconds later, my HOA president was on the phone with 911 screaming that I was stealing my own car. Police sirens were already coming. I was standing in my driveway, holding my keys, about to be arrested for a crime that never happened. All because my neighbor decided I didn't belong there. What started as a fake police report turned into the most insane HOA meltdown this neighborhood has ever seen. The smell of motor oil and metal dust still clung to my work clothes as I pulled into my driveway. 12 hours at the shop, completely exhausted. All I wanted was to see my pride and joy, my 1967 Camaro SS. 18 months of my life went into rebuilding that car from a rusted shell into absolute perfection. I hit the garage remote and waited. The door creaked open, revealing chrome that reflected light like a mirror and paint so deep it looked wet. That's when my life flipped upside down. "Someone call 911! He's stealing my car!" My HOA president neighbor, Brenda, came storming across the lawn like an angry guard dog, phone already glued to her ear. "Yes, there's a black man stealing my car right now. Send police immediately." The sirens were already on their way. She didn't even speak to me first. I was standing in my own driveway, holding my own keys, staring at my own car, about to be arrested for theft. What would you do if your neighbor used the police against you on your own property? My name is Marcus. I'm a third-generation mechanic. My grandfather taught my father, and my father taught me. Our family has kept cars running in this town for 60 years. After my divorce finalized last spring, I bought a modest home in Willowbrook Estates. Clean lawns, matching mailboxes, a quiet HOA neighborhood, or so I was told. The Camaro wasn't a midlife crisis purchase. I found it at an estate sale 18 months earlier. Most people would have scrapped it for spare change, but I saw something special. I paid $3,200 and hauled it home. Every weekend for a year and a half became a mission. New 350 small block engine, rebuilt transmission, suspension overhaul, 4 months of sanding and repainting until the Hugger orange finish glowed like fire. I documented everything: photos, receipts, insurance records. Every bolt and gasket had a paper trail. Brenda Wilson entered my life shortly after. She moved into Willowbrook 5 years ago and immediately decided she was in charge of everything. She sold houses for a living, drove a spotless white BMW, perfect hair, perfect nails, a smile that felt fake and cold. She became HOA president and stayed there because nobody else wanted the job. She loved rules: trash cans out too long, grass a fraction too tall, fence measurements off by a hair. She once measured my lawn with a ruler. 2 weeks before the garage incident, she confronted me while I was bleeding brakes, said my power tools violated noise rules. I calmly told her city law allowed hobby work until 9 p.m. She didn't like that. "This kind of industrial activity hurts property values," she said. Industrial activity, like I was running a factory. The day everything exploded started with her pool party. Laughing, mimosas, fake smiles. Then I heard her voice clearly. "That's my new Camaro. Just bought it for $45,000. It's being shipped next week." She was showing photos of a car identical to mine. That afternoon, I drove to the parts store. When I returned, Brenda stood frozen in her driveway, staring at my Camaro like it had personally offended her. That night, she built a story in her head.
The next evening, police cars filled my driveway, lights flashing. Officers poured out. A stolen vehicle was reported at this address. Brenda pointed at me. "That's him! He stole my car!" I stayed calm. I showed photos, restoration proof, registration, insurance, a handwritten bill of sale from the estate sale. Everything matched. Her evidence? Online stock photos. The officers warned her about false police reports. She backed down fast. But this was only the beginning. By Monday, HOA violations flooded my mailbox. My work van was suddenly illegal. Oil stains that didn't exist. Noise complaints during legal hours. I checked the covenants. My van was grandfathered in. I delivered proof to the HOA office. The receptionist knew trouble when she saw it. Then came more violations, more complaints, more harassment. So I installed cameras. They caught everything. Late-night surveillance, measuring tape patrols, photos of my property. An emergency HOA meeting was called with no notice. Only 3 board members showed up. Brenda tried to pass new rules. I quoted bylaws. She lost control. You think you're smart, you and your people. That's when neighbors started talking to me. Code enforcement came, found nothing wrong. Insurance inspected, cleared me completely. Then Brenda went online, neighborhood Facebook group. Dog whistle language, deleted comments. The group turned on her. Then nails appeared in my driveway. Then threatening letters. That's when detectives got involved. And that's when everything started to unravel.
Neighbors gathered, stories matched, patterns emerged. One neighbor pulled records from the courthouse. That's when we found it. HOA money was missing. Fake companies, payments to businesses registered at Brenda's address, landscaping that never happened, legal fees tied to her divorce. Over $100,000 gone. She wasn't just controlling people, she was stealing from them. Worse, she targeted homeowners until they sold cheap. Then she helped investors buy those homes. Double commissions, kickbacks. And her own house? In foreclosure. Everything made sense. We built a coalition. Accountant, lawyer, contractor, teacher. Everyone documented everything. Media got involved. Elections were scheduled. Then Brenda panicked. She vandalized property. Cameras caught her. She planted fake oil containers. She tried to bribe a contractor. She filed more false police reports. Every move added evidence. Then she broke into the HOA office to destroy records. She was arrested in the act. Bail was set high. She couldn't pay it. In jail, she confessed on a recorded call. The neighborhood voted unanimously to remove her. Audit confirmed over $112,000 stolen.
News trucks arrived. Her real estate license was suspended. Her house sold at foreclosure. At sentencing, the courtroom was packed. The judge didn't hold back. 4 years in prison, full restitution, probation, justice. 6 months later, the neighborhood was peaceful. Transparent HOA, restitution paid, property values rose. The Camaro still sits in my garage. It never was just about a car. It was about power, truth, and what happens when ordinary people stand together. If you're dealing with HOA abuse, document everything. Build community. Don't stay silent. Share your HOA nightmare stories in the comments. This is HOA Prime Stories. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned. More HOA drama is coming.
What started with a garage door and a lie ended with justice, accountability, and a neighborhood finally standing together. This story was never just about a car or an HOA rule. It was about power, control, and what happens when someone thinks they can bully others without consequences. If you're dealing with HOA abuse, remember this. Document everything. Stay calm. Build community. Truth always comes out. This is HOA Prime Stories. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts or your own HOA experience, and subscribe so you don't miss the next HOA meltdown. More stories are coming, and you won't want to miss what happens next.